Water cooler.
Thing about football, you play to win the game.
Coming at you live, hearts of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online, ticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez.
We are live here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is a great day in Husker Nation because there are a few more additions to the football team. And, of course, everybody's been looking forward to that. We'll talk about that. Also, the news over the weekend that broke all our hearts. Walter Rouse decommitting from Nebraska, going to Oklahoma.
What does it mean?
And, man, there's a few days there when I was all getting excited about smash mouth football and fullbacks and huddles.
The offensive line.
And now I'm right back to going, I don't know if they have the offensive line.
The offensive line sucks again.
Yes, the offensive line's in trouble again, just with one guy leaving. But so it is. But we will talk about it. We'd love to hear from you as well. Start name and text line 402-464-5685. He is Rico. I am Bach. And Rico, I did want to start with some offensive line talk because you went to a nice Remington Award ceremony. How was that?
It was a blast. It was wonderful. I haven't dressed up in a suit and a tie since my wedding. So that was
Did you wear the wedding suit?
No, I did not. That one did not fit.
Oh, yeah.
So I got one. I got a new one. But yeah, no, it was amazing. I met Dave Remington. I met Mike Rozier. I met who else did I meet? I met tons of people. I can't even remember. Oh, I met the award winner, Big Olu.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try to. I'm not gonna butcher his name.
Olu.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Olu. From Michigan, he talked about how grateful he was for the award, and he's part of the brotherhood. He also said "Go Blue" at the end of his speech. Everybody gave him big claps, but they were like big half-hearted claps. But no,
it was a predominantly Nebraska room, isn't it?
Yes, it was. A lot of Johnny Rogers was there. I didn't talk to him, but he was there. Amon Green is there, and also Amon Green. For anybody that doesn't know, I don't think I'm going to be breaking any type of news. Maybe I am. Whatever. Amon Green is back in Nebraska, and he's going to be teaching classes at the University of Nebraska, intro to esports.
It's right up his alley.
So he'll be doing that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
No mention of anything helping with the football team. So that's not, I'm not even going to get into that. But esports, if you have a child who's going into esports and they're going to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, they will be taught by Amon Green.
Did you talk to him about video games at all?
I did not. I wanted to, but so he went up there, he did a speech, then he went and sat down. And then at the end, when everybody was getting up doing everything, he was surrounded by people, and then he went up on the stage with all the other important people. And I was like, I am not going up there.
You're not one of those people. You're one of the people to look at the stage, not get on the stage.
But it was wonderful. We had some amazing food. I ate half a salad. Everyone should be very proud of me. I ate half a salad.
Why is that?
I don't eat green stuff. I don't eat salads. I don't eat vegetables. But I ate half a salad. There were strawberries on it, so that made it a little bit better. It was really good. No, a wonderful night. Remington Awards, Boomer Esiason Foundation.
Was Boomer?
No, he was not. He had a little video intro thing though. All of the proceeds go to the cystic fibrosis. Am I wrong about that? CF, cystic fibrosis. Because his son has that, and he started a foundation, the Boomer Esiason Foundation, and it all goes to that, to helping out people and children, families that have cystic fibrosis. And it was a wonderful event, wonderful. The money going towards this is fantastic. A lot of donations going towards that. Some amazing auctions. Somebody put a lot of money towards 2 Super Bowl tickets. There was 2 tickets for a trip to Costa Rica, golfing trip in Florida. It was wonderful. It was fantastic.
You didn't win anything.
I did not. Big money.
Yeah, you got to put big money in
and
there.
And all is cystic fibrosis, so it's wonderful.
Eric asked, on a scale of 1 to giant, how big is the person who won the award, Ola?
Let me put it this way. Nebraska doesn't have anybody that looks like him.
No.
Nebraska has tall guys and they have big guys. They have nobody that looks like him.
Yeah.
Like Michigan's offensive line won the offensive line of the year. He won the Outland and the Remington. I think only the second person ever to do that. just a very massive human being. So I took a picture with Dave Remington, and I'm, the top of my head is to like his chin, right?
Yeah.
Tall guy. I took a picture with Olu. The top of my head is to his shoulder. So that was the center back then. That's the center now. Not all centers look like him, but that's, the center that won.
Dave Remington, don't forget, interim AD at one point.
Yes, they mentioned that.
Yeah.
He was
cool.
Very gracious, very great guy to talk to. Very funny.
Yeah.
I like talking to him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That's a cool award. But let's move on. It's just kind of cool to catch up on something that you did that was pretty cool.
It was wonderful. I hope to. I got to thank AD for the invite. If I ever end up at any more events like that, I will consider myself very lucky, because although I keep being told that I should go to more events like that, or I belong at events like that, I felt very out of place.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I did not feel I did not feel important enough to be there.
Yeah.
But I was there, introduced myself to some people, talked to some people, and it was wonderful.
Rico, you just have to believe in yourself.
I know.
You can't downgrade yourself to a level of I don't belong here. But I do kind of.
I belong now.
Yeah, you
belong. I belong now.
You
I
belong
was there.
with Amon Green and Rico and Remington. That sounds...
me, Jay Foreman, Mike Rozier, Amon Green, Johnny Rogers,
right in there.
Dave Remington, Rico.
Sometimes I think of you
DP,
when I'm thinking the greatest Huskers of all
Aaron
time.
Davis, Ron Brown, Rico.
I did hear Ron Brown too in an interview. Was kind of talking about that too, and the difficulties of playing center, especially now compared to just 20 years ago when it was just kind of snap it to the quarterback. But it's always like it's weird when he kind of broke it down. I was just thinking, I know all this stuff, but when he says it sounds more difficult than whenever what I have originally thought. Because he's saying now you have to snap it back, so you're basically a long snapper.
Mm-hmm.
And coordinate. You're basically the quarterback of the offensive line. Coordinate the blocking.
You got to find out which linebacker. You find out the linebacker assignments. Pretty much tell everybody where they're going to block, how they're going to block. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Get the snap count. Snap it back perfectly. As soon as you snap it back, you got to get that hand back so that you can start blocking somebody. It's a lot going on.
And I thought he made a really good point too in the interview. He said, this is not an award. There, some awards, Heisman's. Some of these awards of skill position players. Some of the younger players are starting to win. This is a junior and senior award. This is not, the best center in the nation is very rarely, if ever, a young player.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take your lumps as you come along.
It's an old guy. It's an old guy award.
Yeah.
And very deserving. Very deserving of Olu.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool
It's
stuff.
part of the Remington family now. So
that's right.
That's the thing. Very large humans in that family.
That's right.
His mother and dad, his mother and father were there. Not very large humans.
No.
Yeah. His brother was there also. Very large human.
Younger brother?
I believe so. I think he plays at Maryland. So, yeah.
Can't
large children, not large parents.
Yeah. I wonder how that worked.
My children have a chance.
But of course, the other news in the weekend, the biggest news seemingly was Walter Rouse committing to Oklahoma just days after committing to Nebraska, being very vocal about how Nebraska was going to check the receipts and all that stuff. And he was using terms like, we are going to do this. So he very much, it felt like he was part of it. And sadly, I mean, this was one that particularly hurts me because I completely bought in. I was like, this is the best transfer portal edition Nebraska's ever had. This is, this is going to change the trajectory of the program.
The left side of the offensive line is locked down. We got it. It's fantastic. You got Rouse, you got Nori, you got Ben Scott.
Yeah, you just start
that left
putting
side
it together.
Is good. You just figure out the right side, and we'll go from there. And now it's a question mark again.
Yeah, back to wondering about tackles and if Prohaska can stay healthy, and
Yeah, that one stung a lot more than really any other decommitment or transfer out, because it gave you hope. It gave you some sort of shining light to look forward to because of how porous the offensive line was last year. And you get a guy who, again, started 39 games at Stanford, was very highly touted when he entered the transfer portal. He's, being courted by Oklahoma, Iowa, and Nebraska. So, a program with great tradition more recently in Oklahoma than Nebraska, who needed 2 tackles, Iowa, who's been able to produce quality offensive linemen year in and year out, and then Nebraska, who just needed some offensive linemen, and he committed to you. So you thought, and everybody was so excited about it. And if you went on social media, everybody was in on it. Sometimes you get commitments and people are like, well, I don't know how good this guy really is. No, everybody was like, yes, this guy, fantastic. Changes the offensive line, plug and play. This is going to be so good for Nebraska. And then 3 days later, maybe committed on Wednesday, decommitted on Saturday.
Yeah.
3 days later, he's just like, you know what? I'd rather not.
Never mind. All that we stuff and how great we're going to be.
Yeah.
I mean that for Oklahoma.
The quotes in some of those articles talking about how great Nebraska is and how he's looking forward to working with Raiola and how they're going to prepare him for the next level. And then he's just, okay, I'm going to Oklahoma now and going to, hopefully improve my draft stock and whatever, go to the NFL next year, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't know, man. And I'm not going to say it's fishy. It happens. That's college football nowadays, but it sucks for Nebraska, sucks for the coaching staff, sucks for the team in general, possibly getting excited about, another addition that can help them get to where they want to be, to then just fall through at the last second, because it was like a player meeting. They had food yesterday and the day before everybody's in town and meeting and having a blast. One of their supposed teammates is like, nah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff. But like you said, that's probably the era of college football. We'll just have to learn our lessons. There are no losses, just lessons. And as a Husker football fandom altogether, we're just going to have to learn from this one. Maybe not to get too excited from the transfer portal. In other news, great news out of the transfer portal. MJ Sherman has arrived to Nebraska, and we'll talk about it next.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership for technicians of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package with 100% paid employee health insurance, time paid parental and bereavement leave, an annual recreation bonus, and a boot and clothing allowance. Landmark offers the latest certified John Deere training, so you're up to date with the newest equipment and technology. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmark.careers. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
The year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers, and we worked with a lot of new people building their dream home.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
It's amazing when you go through the building process. Okay, what do I need in this home? I need the 4 bedrooms. I need the walkout basement, or I need the big yard. It's fun to find that perfect lot, design the home, everything that we need, and then we add those one things. We add the gourmet kitchen. We add the big walk-in pantry. What we try to do is balance a budget with things that you really need in the home. Get items included in this home that you won't find just in any home anymore. So in the end, you've got the perfect place.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone else. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs, because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by looking into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shaker to crowd favorite, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double City's best golf players, 5 holidays that track speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Connect Sports Complex on West O Street.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for technicians of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package with 100% paid employee health insurance, paid time off, paid parental and bereavement leave, an annual recreation bonus, and a boot and clothing allowance. Landmark offers the latest certified John Deere training so you're up to date with the newest equipment and technology. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmark.careers. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are rocking on again here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. Happy Monday to everybody out there. More importantly, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hopefully, many of you have gotten the day off and are enjoying it.
Martin Luther the King.
Martin Luther the King.
As VJ likes to
Jr.
say.
Yes.
There we go.
Very cool stuff. But, of course, it has been a big day for Nebraska football as well. If you've missed the news, we'll touch on it here. MJ Sherman, former five-star high school player out of has actually committed to Georgia, was a special teams demon there, I'll go as far as to say.
Yes.
It was one of the leaders on their special teams unit. Didn't play a whole lot of defense, but is now looking for an opportunity to get out and go somewhere to do that. And he's decided that Lincoln is the place he wants to be. So very big news. Nebraska getting MJ Sherman from Georgia, of course, the back-to-back national champions.
6'2", 250 out of Baltimore, Maryland, out of the D.C. area. So, still hitting that Northeast area hard is the Rule staff. Played in 39 games, I believe, is what I read. Tallied up 15 tackles, including this year 5 total tackles, 4 solo, and half a sack on the defensive side of things. So again, more of a special teams demon, a guy that Kirby Smart said was one of the more important people on their special teams units. So if he continues to do that and gets his chance on the defensive side of things, I can see some really good things because, if they continue with the special teams mantra that was with Bill Bush, the former defensive coordinator, interim defensive coordinator, and special teams coach, you'll see a lot of starters on these special team units. So maybe he'll be able to do a little bit of both. Again, probably looking for somewhere where he can play more on the defensive side of things and not just special teams.
Well, and it's going to be interesting where he fits in on this defense because he's kind of that hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker, edge type that Nebraska's kind of had. Does that translate to the 3-3-5? Or, is he going to be playing up front on that 3-3-5? Is he going to be playing on the second three, I suppose, in the linebacker room? Because both units need bodies. Both units need guys to step up. Either way, I think you're going to see him out there. And again, if you've listened to the $1 million man, the defensive coordinator Tony White, who over the weekend it was announced he's going to be making $1 million, they can adjust to what these players bring to them. So it's not necessarily they're going to be stuck on this 3-3-5. They'll find a spot for him, and I'm going to be interested to see where that is going to be. Real quick on that, do you have any thoughts about Nebraska? I say finally jumping into the $1 million coordinator pool.
I didn't know that Satterfield and White were the first $1 million assistants at Nebraska ever. So that's cool. Like I guess I don't really have any thoughts on it. I would have thought that, maybe somebody before would have gotten it. I don't know who exactly. Like I'm not going to throw a name out there. I would have thought that somebody might have been $1 million assistant at some point. But I think it's cool. I mean, you had the money, you might as well pay them. Seeing the rest of the payments, I mean, to me, it's a lot of money. To some people, it might not. It might seem as if some of the coordinators aren't getting as much. I mean, they're not getting as much, obviously, but maybe that they should get more. It's weird just seeing how all that money is spread around to all of the assistants and including the strength coach. But I mean, it's not my money. I don't really. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
Well, to me, I like it because Nebraska. If you want to say, we're fighting, we're competing with the best. And and then you don't have the best results. At least obviously paying more money to a guy is not gonna make him better or anything. But it is competing with the market. The SEC for years has had $2 million coordinators. The top programs there. Nebraska now just jumping into the $1 million pool. Again, it doesn't necessarily translate to wins or anything. These aren't now all the all-time best assistants Nebraska's ever had. But to me, it's just been competitive. It's going out there and saying we are committed to our Husker, the Husker football program, not just in saying it, not just in certain places. It's the money. And obviously, again, I have to keep saying this. I will never ever care what Nebraska pays anybody anymore after they showed me they don't care about $7 million. I mean, they just threw it away to Scott Frost.
Money does not matter, but it also kind of matters.
So it can matter. It's always interesting to
just think if they wouldn't have, so the assistant pool was $7 million. If they didn't fire Frost early, they would have had another $7 million. Yeah. The assistant pool could have been $14 million. You would have had just everybody would have been paid more.
But even then, Matt Rule kind of said, I'm not going to go after celebrity coaches. So, and I don't think he landed celebrity coaches necessarily. I mean, he's got some.
Terrence Knighton's kind of a big name.
Terrence Knighton's kind of a celebrity coach.
Pot roast. That's kind of a big name. I don't know.
Well, not for the coaching community.
No, but it's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Celebrity coaches to me is like not like in the coaching community names. It's just like big names that you would recognize. Yeah. Like that's what I think of when you say celebrity coaches. Like if you get a big name coach, to me, that's just a good coach. Like if they're a good coach, but a celebrity coach is like a guy that's you would see and you're like, oh my gosh, I know you from this, not from coaching.
Yeah. Well, even if you know them, that's pretty much good enough. Because that's usually what it comes down to. It's like, oh, Nebraska needs a running back coach. Who are your top 5 running back coaches in the nation? You're like, let me do some research.
Exactly. You got to look around.
Yeah. Also in the news today, IGC taking his name out of the portal. Again, I haven't seen it reported necessarily. That means he's got a spot at Nebraska and he's talked to Matt Rule, but you would think,
if you take your name out, that means you're going back to where you were.
Yeah, you would think that's what is available to him. And I think that's kind of big. I know IGC is one of your guys. Your guys don't always turn out to have the best careers, but he's got another opportunity here. And you got to think, again.
Big fan of Isaiah.
Yeah, but you got to think, last year he was a guy that early on, pretty much, it's interesting to break it down. And I don't know how much people care to go back, but as we kind of move forward in the Matt Rule era, Mickey Joseph came in as a big time wide receiver coach, somewhat of a celebrity wide receiver coach, and had the results with Trey Palmer, and of course, kind of got moved off that spot into the head coaching position. And we all know kind of how that season played out. But it's going to be weird. It's kind of, I just got to say it. It's weird that Xavier Betts and IGC quit on last year's staff and wants to come back.
So the weird part for me is how will the team, the people who were on those rosters with them, receive them coming back?
Right.
And I'm not saying that they should shun them or treat them poorly, but it is weird, after 3 games for IGC before the season even started for Xavier Betts, that they, as you said, quit on the team. And they're like, Xavier Betts was just done with football and IGC entered the transfer portal. Maybe he couldn't find a spot to land. Maybe he talked to Rule when he got here and was, convinced that coming back would be the best option and that he'll have a chance to compete for a much bigger role. But the guys in the locker room who were teammates with them when they left, how will they receive them? How will they, talk to them and welcome them back into the fold? That's the more concerning part for me, because the coaches can like them and think that they're all this and all that, but if their teammates don't accept them, that's going to be a problem chemistry wise in the locker room, and that's not something that you can have, especially for a first year head coach that's trying to lay the groundwork for a successful future here.
Yeah, team chemistry is going to be interesting there in that room too, though. They just kind of, a lot of it's just kind of who we've seen. Billy Kemp has proven himself, but only had like 200 yards last year in an injury riddled season. Washington, it was pretty solid last year. Hard to imagine him necessarily as your number one, but maybe if he takes that jump.
See it.
Alante Brown's had some time, hasn't had too many results, but they still kind of hope that he can get there. The point is, IGC and Xavier Betts might be your number 1 and 2 receivers next year.
Xavier Betts just had a year off from football.
Right.
I don't know if he was working out. I don't know how he was working out. There's also, I don't know if people want to talk about it or remember, but he was arrested a couple months ago.
We're like a speeding ticket.
Yeah. But that's still, something that's a legal issue that you have to deal with, and that's something you got to deal with in the locker room. But it's, those are some things that you're going to have to deal with. He left the team, and then I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was working out, so I'm not going to speak on what he was doing after he left the team, but he did leave the team before the season even started. People were just, whatever about it. Things happen. He has the legal issues, and then he's just back on the team. It's a very strange situation.
It is, but I only say that again. I don't think your expectations should be for these guys to rise. They've got to earn it back. Like you said, a year off of football might be difficult for him. Might be, Norden Nwelly's got to get back into shape. So, this idea that those guys are coming back exactly how they were.
Nwelly was still practicing.
I don't want to say shape. I would say like football shape again.
Yeah.
But
game shape.
Yeah. But the point is, Xavier Betts, it's hard to think of a young wide receiver with that much potential at Nebraska. Now, Nebraska is not necessarily known for having great wide receivers. I get that, but that's why the excitement is back, is because that guy has quite a bit of potential if he falls in love with football again. If he kind of makes the most out of this opportunity. He's just on the end arounds. It was, he was somewhat of a deep threat when he was at Nebraska, or it could have been if he had stayed and they were able to kind of keep him focused and, whatever went awry didn't. You have to think, but having him out there with Trey Palmer would have made a pretty
Trey Palmer,
difference.
Marcus Washington, Xavier Betts, Alante Brown would have been a pretty nice receiving core.
Yeah.
Nice 4
Omar
right
Manning.
there. Omar Manning.
Oliver Martin.
Yeah, it would have been all right.
There's a lot of guys there.
A lot. Again, that's a lot of potential. And outside of Trey Palmer, not a lot of results.
Yeah.
Although I do like what Marcus Washington was able to do with the amount of catches that he had. And I think that he can be a number 1 receiver here in Nebraska. But you have to wait for the season to start to see who even starts at the number 1 receiver, who's even starting. Because, again, it's a lot of bodies, not a lot of experience or numbers to speak of in that receiver room.
Yeah, but it certainly feels like it's in a better spot with Xavier Betts. The defensive side feels like it's in a better spot now today after their commitment, the transfer from Georgia, MJ Sherman. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll talk some NFL playoffs when we get back here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. friends at Sion. I've been working with as a participant in their clinical trials for many years. They help develop new pharmaceutical products, and I get to be a part of it. All I do is check the website for possible studies that might apply to me, see if they fit into my schedule, and if I'm eligible for participation within the parameters laid out, I can make up to $500 per day in a study, and feel confident in the staff and research done by Solarion to be a willing participant. Last year, more than 800 people completed a study in Lincoln, and I was one of them, and will continue to be. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, and with the several options for scheduling, check them out at helpresearch.com/new, or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965, or at helpresearch.com/new.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we know is that the earlier it's diagnosed and treated aggressively, the better the long-term results. QC Kinetics offers a unique and comprehensive approach to restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve both the appearance and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to QCkinetics.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relief. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsrats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Million talk on the FM dial. Also the ticket FM on the internet. DK 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. It is time for the crossover as Nick Sainert has jumped in studio with myself, Bach, and Rico. And Nick, the big news today is for your boy CJ Stroud. He's entered the draft.
I know. When it came out over the weekend that he was like actually considering returning, and that there was like a $4 million NIL deal on the table, my first thought was, there's no way only $4 million gets him to stay. Because he's probably a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
He should be a top 5 pick.
He should be a top 5 pick.
Don't overthink it, teams that need quarterbacks.
That's true. There's a lot, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Will
of
Levis is not better.
Yeah, there's no doubt. If there's one guy that is better, I think it's Bryce Young. I think it's probably Bryce Young, then CJ Stroud on the quarterback list. But who knows? We'll see how everybody tests out, because after Will Levis makes some behind the back throw and it goes 70 yards down the field to a running wide receiver.
He is him.
Yeah, he's like the number 1 overall pick. I don't know. Pro days are always, there's too much stock put into pro days in my mind, because they're super scripted. So I mean, you sit there and all right, here we go.
I think pro days are great.
I'm not trying to knock pro days. I'm just saying
like tape over pro days is what
I'm just saying how much we allow guys that have good pro days, great scripted pro days, to jump other guys that may have played better in
You can only
games.
script so much.
In a pro day?
Yeah.
You can script the whole thing.
You can't script how fast you run your 40. You can't script how fast you do your 3-cone drill.
I understand
you
that.
can't
but I'm saying
script how much how many reps on
pro day
225 you
I'm
get.
saying pro day for
quarterbacks?
For quarterbacks.
Okay.
Zach Wilson had one of the greatest pro days.
You can script that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like I mean, I personally would play for $4 million, but like CJ Stroud has the however much signing bonus just waiting for him as long as he stays healthy until next April, and as long as he can, test well, I suppose. Because once again, if they can test well, they'll be fine.
Plus, he came back and lost to Michigan again.
He wouldn't.
Maybe it's just time.
That was so like
they're not going to lose to Michigan next
I think
year.
it was yesterday. I saw somebody tweet. It was just as simple as just like CJ Stroud hasn't declared yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we all just assumed he was going to leave.
Yeah, no.
I was like, wait
No.
a minute.
Yeah, yeah. That's well. I mean, if you think about it, the only question mark really on Ohio State's offense was at quarterback. Because for next year, I'm saying because you had Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams returning the backfield. You had Marvin Harrison and Emeka Abuka returning in the wide receiver room. You basically played the entire season without Jackson Smith and Jigba. So yeah, you lost him, which is huge.
Lost both their tackles.
Yeah, which is huge because you obviously, I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba was an exceptional talent, but you played without him the entire season. You still got to the playoff at the end of the day. So it was more of if CJ Stroud returns, Ohio State is right next to Georgia, a little behind, obviously, but I mean, next to Georgia to win the national title next
Just
year.
imagine.
But now they got to transition a new quarterback.
Imagine if Quinn Ewers would have stayed. He would have had to sat for another year, but if he was the starter at Ohio State this next year with Marvin Harrison Jr. and everybody else that they have, because you know that they have backups that are better.
I don't even know who their backup is. Is it still Kyle McCord?
I think it is.
Yeah, is that who will be the new guy?
Yeah.
Which
is weird too. I think today in modern football too, it's going to be interesting to follow with all the big name transfer quarterbacks that are out there. How likely it is for guys like that to sit around on the bench and for programs to stick with them, to stay. That's the guy that we want rather than go out and get Sam Hartman in the portal.
Well, here's what's crazy is
Kyle McCord, Devin Brown, Mason Maggs, and Chad Ray are their other quarterbacks.
Chad Ray, I'm going for that guy.
Chad Ray is his second year from Dublin.
Oh, not as cool.
Yeah, not as cool.
There for a second, it was really cool.
I don't know. So I mean, CJ Stroud, absolutely the right decision to declare. I mean, goodness sakes, do not
Don't
go
stay.
back. Yeah, do not go back.
Don't stay. Let's see what their wide receivers.
You made the right decision to declare. I do declare.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
So yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean,
yeah.
Is Julian Fleming staying?
Oh yeah. He's still there.
Xavier, nope, he was a graduate. Jackson Smith is gone. A lot of freshmen. Marvin Harrison Jr., Corbin Cleveland. Yeah, a lot of freshmen.
Yeah,
a lot of young guys.
I would love to go down their room and just see all these freshmen and see where they're at recruiting ranking wise.
Oh yeah,
they're losing Cade Stover. He's in his fourth year. Mitch Rossi, a grad transfer or grad player. So their tight ends are going to be fun.
I think Cameron Babb is also leaving, their wide receiver, which
Cameron
is
Babb.
Cameron Babb.
Yeah, he was a grad.
Yeah, he's a guy that, I mean, Nebraska was actually in on him. He visited Nebraska way back when with Mike Riley and them. But he visited Nebraska, ended up having tons of surgeries, tons of injuries, and he finally caught like his first touchdown.
November 12th, 2022.
Yeah, this season. It was a super cool story. He's been like through a lot of just crap, and he just wrote it out. He stuck it out.
Oh, Nick, I did want to ask you about this too. The coaching salaries, Nebraska, and somebody was asking how much on the text line, how much Bob Diaco made. I think it was like $825, somewhere around $8. I think it was $825, and then last year when Mark Whipple came in, he surpassed that with $875. But now Nebraska is finally in the $1 million club with coordinators. Marcus Satterfield is going to make 1.4, and Bob and Coach White's going to make $1 million. How much is that? Obviously, paying more doesn't equal results. But for me, I guess the way that I've been saying it and I've been looking at it is like, finally, Nebraska, if they need to compete with these SEC programs, or the top programs in the Big Ten, it's been several years now that the SEC's up to $2 million for coordinators at times.
Well, I mean, this is why Matt Rule was given a $7 million assistant pool, right? I mean, it was to go out and be able to lure coordinators that
lure.
Thank you. Lure like coordinators that were worth this kind of money. Now, do we know that Marcus Satterfield, who, yes, his past speaks for itself. Do we know he's worth 1.4? No. I don't know yet. I was shocked to see that high a number. I mean, I'll be honest, guys.
Highest paid. I thought Tony White was going to be the highest.
See, I wasn't surprised that he was the highest paid. I was surprised that it was 1.4.
That's a lot.
I mean, that is a lot.
1.4. Tony's getting 100
or 1 million. Yeah. Which I wasn't,
million.
Yeah, $100 million for Tony White. Which I wasn't necessarily surprised to see that number, but I would have expected offensive coordinator to be like 1.2, maybe 1.1.
Closer to each other.
I mean,
than
let's
that.
yeah, and it's not like I'm trying to be like they need to be equal. They need to be paid the same amount. I'm not trying to be like that. I was surprised to see 1.4. I haven't. This is my fault. I haven't looked up what he was getting paid at South Carolina. I haven't looked at also comps. I don't know what Brian Hartline, for example, who is one of the top assistants in all of college football. It's funny you talked to Zach Carpenter of Inside Nebraska and who used to cover Ohio State. And if they ever were
900,000
Hartline?
No, Satterfield at South Carolina.
Okay, so that's a pretty hefty jump.
Yeah.
But if you talk to guys from Ohio State, it's if Ryan Day ever gets fired, Hartline might not be the head coach, but that's one of those guys that the athletic department forces the new staff to keep on the new staff because of how valuable he is in recruiting, what kind of football mind he is. So I know Brian Hartline got promoted to offensive coordinator just last weekend. So I don't know what his pay now is going to be from wide receivers coach up to offensive coordinator now. But I mean, hey, there's a lot of money in this whole thing, whether you're looking at Matt Rule or looking at coordinators, a lot of money involved, and there's going to be a lot of expectation to win.
Tony White was making a little bit over 700,000.
Yeah.
711.
Hefty raise.
Do we know
711,
what
420.
Do we know what Brian Hartline was?
Let's find out.
Is now.
By the way, Jeremy off the text line says, "Do we ever get an update on that Georgia transfer tight end? Is he in
Georgia Tech?
He is in fact not in. Yeah, he's transferred to Georgia Tech.
So Brian Hartline, wide receivers coach, 2019 salary was 360,000.
Well, so here's this: 2022, 950 for passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach. He was getting paid 950 grand.
Wow.
So
how much is he making as offensive coordinator?
We might not know since he just
since it just happened.
But as I look last year, Todd Monken, the Georgia offensive coordinator, was the top offensive coordinator as far as salary, $2 million.
Goodness gracious!
And no,
well, look
Jim
at they put
Knowles.
65.
No, I get it.
I'm not saying like coming at you like, hey, you paid $2 million for a dude and you just put 65 up in the natty.
No, I get
and
it.
Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator at Ohio State, was making $1.9 million. That was the most among defensive coordinators. Again, a few years ago, if you remember, Bo Pelini at LSU for his 1 year stint made $2.3 million to be their defensive coordinator. Some of the
massive.
The guys that were there were a few years ago there was like 3 or 4 guys making 2 point something as coordinators.
I
and
know.
then they got promoted to head coaching.
Because Oklahoma's head coach.
Venables,
Venables, when he was at Clemson, because he kept getting offers to be head coach, even though they knew he was going to say no, they kept offering him more money until eventually.
I think he was making like 2.5.
So here's this
Hartline. Hold on before you go. Hartline had got a $350,000 raise
last year from 2021 to 2022.
Okay,
so he was
at
950. Yeah, so he was 600 just as passing game or as wide receivers coach. Then when they brought in Kevin Wilson, I believe they made Hartline the wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator, gave him a $350,000 bump. Jeez. And now who knows what's going to happen. Ohio State, you might not know this, or maybe you guess it. Ohio State has the largest assistant pool in the country.
Ooh, okay.
So here's this. The offense, I don't have the number, unfortunately, right in front of me. The number of Kevin Wilson, the Buckeyes offensive coordinator this last season, 1.4.
Yeah, there you go.
So I mean,
he got a head coaching job.
So here you are, as a program that's won very limited number of games in the last 15 years. You are competing with the top echelon of offensive and defensive coordinators and just salary pools overall for new guys.
There are 4 programs who have assistant salary pools at $8 million or above. Ohio State, as you said, leads the way with 8.83. LSU 8.56, Georgia 8.4, Alabama 8.36. Those are the only programs that have dedicated more than $8 million to their staffs.
And Nebraska's at 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could add another $1 million to that. Come on, join in on the fun.
I was surprised to see EJ Barthel's number so low.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
But
By the way, Brian Hartline,
He's still a new guy, I
also made
suppose.
$38 million as a player.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that we're talking all these numbers like, oh, that's crazy for a coach, and it's still like,
and he's just like, yeah, no, this is
it's like, no, I'm still taking a big hit from when I retired.
He's like, man, I am underpaid.
It was funny. His signing bonus was more than his yearly salary, right?
Yeah, I bet.
So
that's wild.
Great PPR player back in the day too, Brian Hartline.
Yep.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. Happy hour coming up next. They'll have lots to break down for this Husker football. A busy day and a busy weekend as well in the NFL. Same thing can be said. Busy weekend, busy day, as we still have one more game from Wacky Wild Card Weekend. But they'll do that. That'll be coming up next year. Happy hour on 93.7 The Ticket. That'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. We'll talk to you tomorrow.